Oh, my head. Where am I? I must be drunk. Or am I dreaming? The ship, the box, the man.
Hello everyone, I'm Nidoking, and this is Cocktails Lost in Time. Now I hope you were paying attention because a lot happened in that opening cutscene, and if you didn't follow it all, you probably aren't going to understand what's going on. Not that there's really a whole lot to understand. About all we know now is that our main character is female, and she seems to have some sort of amnesia or something. We probably should find out more. Maybe the notebook that we have up in our menu bar will tell us something useful. No, it pretty much just reiterates what we already know. Nothing! And on the next page, well, it actually comes as kind of a surprise. The stuff that I typed last time when I was doing a test recording seems to have been saved until I started a new game. This page is just for typing notes to myself, I guess, but man, it's missing a lot of keystrokes for some reason. I don't know if that's the emulator or if the game itself is just having problems. Anyway, I don't need to keep all that stuff, so I'll just delete. What's it? Every time I hold the backspace key, it only deletes 3 characters. I'm going to keep pressing it over and over again. Oh, screw that. I'll just leave it there for the next time I play the game. Anyway, finding out what's going on. Let's take a look at this poster. Maybe that'll tell us something. Alright, so our main character thinks she should be in 1992, but according to the poster, it's 1840. Well, that doesn't really look like a poster. It looks like a newspaper called The Navigator, with a picture of John Adams on the front. I don't know. But when we look at it again, we learn that this is the way she came in, but somebody has apparently walled it over since. Okay, getting on with searching the ship, let's look inside this bucket. Nothing. I love these little insets here. And the stool also doesn't seem to have anything, but it's made of mahogany, and when it tells us what something is made of, we click again and we'll find something useful like a nail. Let's see if we've got anything that'll help us pull it out. Yes, we actually start this game with 3 inventory objects: paint remover, pliers, and a small pipe. Obviously here what we need is the pliers. And that'll help us pull out the nail. And even our main character seems to acknowledge that she's just grabbing random stuff at this point. And interestingly enough, I can now click the nail on another item and attempt to combine the two of them, but right now it doesn't do any good.
Oh, my head. The manor, the lighthouse, the chimney. What happened? Where am I?
You know, I wouldn't mind if you answered any of those questions, or explained yourself in any way. But we're starting about a third of the way into this game. We'll have to go back later and figure out what led to this point. Meanwhile, let's see if there's anything interesting in the box. The locked box. I don't know if you've been picking locks all morning. I haven't seen the morning yet. This game. Alright, let's see if we can use the nail to pick the lock. No. But we can quite cleverly take the pliers and use them to bend the nail. And maybe use this to pick the lock. Okay, so that doesn't work, but at least she admires my ingenuity. Maybe just the pliers themselves can break the lock. Again, excellent idea, doesn't work, but I like the way the game is respecting me here. Let's try the paint remover. Maybe that'll work as a lock remover too. Not strong enough, of course. Alright then, let's just give up on the box and see if maybe there's a longer nail under the stool. Another one. Okay, and the barrels. Oh, hey, there we go. A lamp. Yes, it will help us to see things. Thank you very much. I never would have figured out what a lamp was.
I must be dreaming. This ship is moving. But It was shipwrecked. What am I doing here?
I don't know. Let's see. This post here is the way we need to go. But it's too smooth to climb. So we're going to need to come up with some kind of a step. Maybe that's what the nail could be used for. Nope, doesn't do anything. So, keep exploring. Another bucket. And this one's full of water. But no reflection. I don't know what it is you're recognizing in that water. Well, we could fill the small pipe with water, I suppose. At least that's something to do. I don't know why I want water. And more barrels. Let's take a look and see what's behind them. It's real dark. So, cleverly enough, we need to use the lamp to look behind the barrels. And sure enough, we find ourselves a sponge. I kind of like the way that the game has intuitive item use like that. Go ahead and get the sponge wet. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a joke. Something like cleaning a blackboard with a wet sponge, but who uses a wet sponge to clean a blackboard, honestly? I just don't get it. But now that we have a wet sponge, we can remove the poster from the wall and see what's behind it, since this is apparently the way we came in. And it's a knothole. Alright, the wood is softer, but unfortunately I can't remove it yet, and none of the items I have in my inventory will do it. So, only one place to go now, this opening in the floor. Again, it's too dark, and again, our protagonist can't think for herself at all until we tell her to use the lamp. The good news is, this is the last time we ever have to do that. Well, let's go ahead and start looking around. Empty barrel. But where's all the rum gone? And, oh, it's made of oak, so you know what that means. We find a bottle of palm oil inside. And again, the date is 1840. Gee, I wonder what that means. Take another look. Nothing like oak to age fine spirits, or apparently palm oil. There's a chain over here. I'm not entirely sure I agree with this sentiment, but anyway. Ah, there we go. A useful looking pump in the middle of a bunch of dirty water. That sure will teach you to put your hands everywhere. I mean, it's not like you could tell it was a dead rat by looking at it. Anyway, let's use this pump and get rid of all the water. Can't make it move. Wonder whether maybe a little water will help. No, of course not. Obviously, we need to use the palm oil. And that's a lot more than a drop. In fact, she just poured the whole bottle out. Hope we don't need any more oil. Of course, now this game is really good about removing items from your inventory when you don't need them anymore. So, with the water out of the way, we can take a much closer look at this chain and find a corkscrew. And, of course, I have to put the corkscrew away in order to climb the stairs. But now we've finally got a way to pop out that knothole and see what's on the other side of the wall. Oh boy, I know you guys are excited for this one.
Hello, my friend. I made a hole so I could talk with you. Can you hear me? Can you understand me?
Woman, one would have to be deaf not to hear noise you are making. You can move around, but I am shackled to the ship.
I'm free to move around, but I don't know how I got here. What about you?
In the great country, I am Yoruba, the last son of a noble family of Egyptian wizards. My duty is to guard the treasure of my ancestors. But because I was taken away from my land and enslaved with others, I am no longer a free man. And since this disruption in time, my memory has been wandering.
A slave? A treasure? It must be the box with the Egyptian sarcophagus. But where am I? We are on a ship, aren't we?
Yes. This ship belongs to Doralice de la Prunelliere, very rich man. He has plantation and slaves on San Cristobal Island. I lived on the island until Master decided to ship me along with treasure of my tribe.
Charlotte, I am here because of him. The slave trade has long been forbidden, hasn't it? Where's this ship going?
It is going to that cold land where all the men like Jarlath come from. But I will kill myself before we arrive there. Because I have a knife.
You have a knife? Give it to me. I have a better use for it.
Why should I give it to you? I have no reason to live anymore. On the island, I left all that made my life worth living. The love of my life. The woman I love. My velvet. She is Master's wife. But I love her more than my life. We have child.
Incredible. You stole Jarlath's wife? Well, because of the child, you shouldn't lose courage. Give me the knife. I will come back and free you.
You must be joking, woman. I am tied to the ship, and this room is sealed tight as a tomb.
Don't worry, I'll find a way. I will free you, I promise.
And why should I trust you, woman? Even if, for some unknown reason, I believed you.
Thank you for believing me, Yoruba. When I get out of here, I will come back and free you. I promise.
But he just got through saying he doesn't trust me, and then he gives me the knife. I just don't follow this story at all. It would help if they didn't reference the events that we haven't seen yet, but anyway, we've now got a knife. We know that the guy in the next room was a slave who slept with the master's wife and is now being shipped off to another country with a sarcophagus. Anyway, the knife is obviously what we need to do to get out of this room. So let's forget about the rest of this craziness and just do that. And here's a door that we can hear scratching behind. Beautiful. And we can't open it. So, our next quest is naturally to open this door so that we can move on. So let's look around the hold for things that we can use. Got a shelf with a couple broken lamps, a bunch of wooden pins on the wall, which we can't remove. More pins. And a path toward the back of the ship. So let's just keep going until we find something we can use. A closet. Should have some useful stuff. Or just a buckle hanging from the ceiling that we can't reach. Okay, let's see. We got pliers. Probably the longest thing I've got. That doesn't help. Corkscrew, maybe. No. So I'll have to find something really long and come back. And the other side of the room, got a couple of cannons. Barrels with nothing useful in them. And that cannon's got a big chip. Alright. No use in any of that stuff. I do kind of like this music, though. Let's see. Boxes, nothing useful. Porthole, it's impossible to open. I didn't even realize portholes would close, but I guess they can. Containers for cane sugar, and this one hidden half behind the pole here is the important one, where we find a towel. And in a game like this, you've really got to know where your towel is. Moving on again, and this looks like as far as we can go in this direction. Stone plate in the wall. When it says there's a notch in the wood, it's actually referring to the plate itself. And to open it, there's this ring. Now it says we can pull on it as much as we want, it won't budge. You have to click on it again to get the hint. She can't pull it because it's too slippery. So all we need to do is use the towel to get a better grip on the ring. And I wonder what that noise could be. Obviously the plate is opened, and inside we find soap! Soap and a towel. I guess we can wash now. And a fake bottom, which we can't do anything with yet. So let's look at all the other stuff that was over here. We got bags of cinnamon and cocoa, a chariot on cannon wheels. Alright, nothing there. And over on the other side, cannonball with a broken oar next to it. Once again, you gotta investigate something closer to find the item that you need. And you may have noticed a trap door while I was quickly turning around. But this is not only locked, it's also barred. So we're going to need to remove both the bar and the lock in order to get through that. But we don't need to worry about that trap door just yet, because we found what we need to open the door, believe it or not. See, the weird thing, and I'm not really sure how this works, we need to take the soap and rub it against this rusty cannon to make soap shavings. And then I have to put the soap shavings back in my pocket so I can take the 6 steps forward and get back to the door. Because soap shavings, dry soap shavings, obviously will make the door slide open. And congratulations, we now get to learn a bit more about the game. Sort of.
Oh, a woman. But where are you going dressed like that? Where did you come from? How did you get aboard this ship?
It's a very strange story. Oh, I don't know what's happening. I must have lost my memory. Where are we and where are we going?
It looks like you're in the wrong time. You'll be surprised. The year is 1840. From your clothes, I'd say you're from the 20th century.
In the wrong time? 1840? It's impossible. Back in time? You must be kidding me. That's pure science fiction.
It's true. I'm an agent with the Space-Time Patrol. I come from the year 2092, and I'm after people who travel illegally.
It's not my fault, believe me. Let me tell you what happened. Maybe you can explain what's going on.
Good. But first, help me get free. I can hardly move anymore. I'm not a good cook, but it was the only way I could get on board.
They seem to have a habit of tying people up on this ship.
The captain didn't like my cooking, and there was nothing left to cook with the beans, so I used sawdust instead of breadcrumbs.
Oh, I can't do it. These knots are too tight. Wait, I'm going to get something.
Just a minute. Before you disappear, tell me how you got here. That may help me with my mission.
Well, it all started with a letter from a lawyer who told me to meet him in front of the Manor de la Prunellière. Apparently, I inherited it from a relative who died in 1840.
Wobbly lines mean it's gotta be a flashback, and here we are, standing in front of a mansion There's a horse apparently eating the path, and I've got no inventory items. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beginning of the game, as told in a flashback. Let's see what's in our notebook at this point. Could be illuminating. And it kind of summarizes what we've already seen. You know, Yoruba's a slave. Melchior is an agent from 2092, although I don't recall him actually introducing himself or telling me any of that. And she tells him nothing yet. We'll have to play through the flashback to find out what. I've also got these two tabs over on the right side. You might have noticed the flashing notebook whenever we saw a cutscene. I believe we can use these to replay those cutscenes if we want to see them again, but I can't imagine why anyone would want to do that. Plus, you can always just go back and watch the video again. So, I think this is going to be a good time to end the video. So stay tuned next time when hopefully we can make some sense out of everything that we saw in this video and find out how we got back to 1840. See you guys then.